Here we are at the Decatur Family Refuge with Fred DeVera, president of the organization, and we're upstairs at the Refuge, which is going to be converted into a bedroom apartment for families.
Yes.
And you're going to give us a little view of the renovation that's underway, and we'll come back and see the finished product.
Good. Yes, yes. Yeah, this is bedroom number 1. We call this bedroom number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is bedroom number 2. There's quite a story in here. We've been doing this for a year. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, renovating.
You've been renovating for a year?
Yeah, we have to demolish this and everything. Yeah. And this is the common bathroom.
It's going to be very nice.
Yes, yeah. And this is bedroom number 3. And bedroom number 4. Whoever's going to stay here is lucky because it has its own bathroom.
Oh.
So.
Fred, you were saying that much of the renovation work is being done by union volunteers?
Yes.
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 You could tell it's very professionally done.
Yes. The heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric. And this is going to be the office for the night supervisor. And this is what they call the great room. This is where they congregate, have a TV. And this is bedroom number 5 right here. And we have to build the fire escape because we could not get any fire escape that's up to code. Like when they demolished the Black & Company, I said, can I have your fire escape? But unfortunately, it's not wide enough, the steps.
So Fred, how did you get involved with the Family Refuge program?
This one, I think, like in 2007, we were in a program called Just Fate for 28 weeks. And what the program is, we look at all of the social issues from nonviolence, abortion, politics of foods, the whole thing. And so after 28 weeks, we decided we had to do something. And we organized the Interfaith Action Committee to deal with the poverty issue, homelessness in Decatur. And from that, this came about. But we started the Interfaith Action Committee. That's the bigger umbrella. Mm-hmm. And this is just part of it. The housing part is just, because we have others. We have health and, legal issues.
Well, we can see the end product of your action. A lot of people talk, but you guys are making things happen.
Yes, yes. And the state of Decatur didn't have any 10-year plan on how to deal with the homelessness issue in Decatur, and I was part of that working group with the city of Decatur.
Well, if I may say so, you are surely doing the work of the Lord.
Yes, definitely, and that's going to be a big part of this operation. It has to be, because when we started, we didn't have any money, but somebody gave us $10,000 at each church, and that's what we started how to get the ball rolling here. Normally, the MO is that you raise a whole bunch of money, but we didn't have time for that. We just go with $10,000 and relying on faith that the Lord will provide the money as we go, and this is what happened.
Today we're touring the Decatur Home Refuge, and our first guest will interview many of the staff, but Kathleen Taylor, who is heading this program here in Decatur. Kathleen, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Bill.
You're on another project here at Decatur Refuge.
Yes.
What's its mission?
The mission is really to deal with homeless families. There's no facility in Decatur other than this that deals with the family as a complete unit. And so we are focused on the family unit and the whole family, all aspects of the family and all aspects of the individual within that. And so we're about taking them from point A doing an assessment, figuring out what needs to happen so that their life gets back on track, and then setting the program, and they work through the program, and so they can exit and be successful.
So mom can be here with her children and be safe?
Mom can be here with her children, dad can be here, it's a custodial adult with children. So it can be a single dad with children, it could be the couple with children, it could be a single mom, it could be the aunt or the grandmother who has custody, finds themselves in need of a shelter.
You know, Kathleen, it seems so important and so basic, and yet you're the first.
Well, we are, because it is basic and it does seem simple, but it requires a lot of commitment and a lot of effort, not only by the board, because we have a very active functioning board, but by the staff that's here, because it's not a 9-to-5 job. You're here, you work your time, but anyone who's been in a family knows the dynamics of a family, so issues carry, situations carry, and so everybody has to be actively engaged.
You know, it's interesting, Kathleen, in our society, in our economy, the stockbrokers on Wall Street get all the ink, but you guys do all the work.
That's kind of how it goes. Yes, it is. The unique thing about this also is the skills that we're teaching. And we're partnering with the other agencies in town so that there is no, we're not reinventing a wheel, and we're not duplicating services. So we partner with the other agencies. So when they exit here, after they've completed their program here, they will go into Homeward Bound, and they will take what we have accomplished here, build on that, and implement that as part of their program as well. So all the agencies are working together. Those that need GED, we're working with MAC and PIED, Adult Ed, and with Richland, of course, with the Adult Ed program out there. We continually are involved with CHIC and WIC and, you know, the other issues as far as receiving a link card and the medical card, getting social security numbers and getting a card again, getting a birth certificate, you know, very basic issues that we all have that somewhere in the process of being homeless has been displaced. So we have to regather those important documents so that then they can be eligible for other programs that are out there.
In a moment, we're going to meet some of the other folks who are instrumental in the operation of the refuge, but if one of our viewers wants to get involved, wants to contact you, what should they do and who do they call?
Well, basically they just need to call Decatur Family Refuge, and it's 422-9903, and they can stop by. There is somebody in this building, in this facility, around the clock.
And what kind of help are you needing?
We are needing people who are willing to mentor children and adults and families. So there's 3 different mentoring opportunities there. We're in need of people who are willing to do a Bible study for youth on Monday night, or be scheduled for one of the Bible studies on Thursday for the adults. We need people who are willing to do homework and read and work on reading skills and math skills and those kinds of things. So there's a multiple area where they can assist. And it's not just coming in, it's about developing the relationship, because people who have been in a precarious situation, trust becomes significant. So you can't just be here once and expect that something's going to happen. You're going to have to be a consistent face, a face that, you know, is here and demonstrates that I'm here to help you move forward, not I'm here to take something from you.
Yes.
Like so many things happen. And just accept people where they are, because they are rough on the edges, and sometimes people can't handle that. But they're rough on the edges because that's a defense mechanism of protection while you're on the street. And so when you're safe and you're comfortable, that comes down, and then you can relate, and you can actually see the person start to blossom and develop.
Well, thanks for the overview, Catherine. Now I think we're ready to meet Reverend Hoy.
I think we are. And the Reverend Dr. Hoy is president of our board, and he provides excellent leadership.
I'm looking forward to meeting you. Okay, we're here with Reverend Michael Hoy of the First Evangelical Lutheran Church in Decatur. And you're really the focus and the impetus behind putting this refuge together.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I don't think that's completely true. I've been the board president for the last several months, but I have been present since its inception, and working with other dedicated folks to see Decatur Family Refuge come into being. This grew out of a vision 3 years ago where there was a poverty summit meeting at St. Thomas Church, and the discussions were that we need to look at the issues of homelessness in our community more directly and provide, at that time the discussions were to provide emergency shelter for folks. There was a ad hoc group of folks who did meet, several who have worked very diligently, and I would not want them to be forgotten for all the efforts that they put in to make sure that this became a reality. But over the course of the last 2.5, 3 years, we finally got to the point of locating the place, which was here. Finding Kathleen Taylor, which to me is a wonderful godsend to our work and to our organization, and to see it up open and to even see the faces of some of the young children who are in this facility is truly delightful.
Well, Reverend, one would have to say that you are doing the Lord's work.
I do think that God calls us to care, especially for those who are the poor and the lowly in our communities. And this is an important effort in that venture. And our congregation has been solidly behind supporting this from the very beginning.
Reverend, in terms of our society, our larger culture and society, how do we explain among all the wealth, the richness, and the opportunity in our nation, and all the talk, that so little focus and energy is given to the cause that you and Kathleen and the rest of them are doing here?
That's, I find, is an uphill battle. We are dealing in a culture today that I believe there's incredible wealth disparity, and you're seeing that start to come into focus even nationally and internationally. I think, for example, with some of the Occupy movements that are seeking to lay it out before the national public, the inequality that we need to address and come to terms with. And it's an ongoing task to have folks come to that recognition. But I do believe that what I see happening, especially in those cries for equality in our world and in our nation, is that there is a growing trend among American people and among international folks that we have neglected the poorest of our world. And so I take that as an encouraging sign in the midst of it all.
You know, sometimes people feel so overwhelmed that there's so much to do and they become paralyzed in their action. But you got to do something, and you guys sure have done something.
Well, I appreciate your saying that. I think, yes, the sense is that we have hope, we have promise, and we live on that, and we live on the strength of that, and we push forward.
Well, Reverend, I admire the leadership that you have provided for this organization, and our nation is in need of great leadership, and we need to pray for it. We thank you for your presence and your work here.
Thank you very much. Grateful to be with you.
Now we get to meet Ms McKinney. And she's the treasurer of the Refuge organization, and she's been involved in the community and church work for a long time. And I happen to know Ms McKinney, and she's just a real light here in our community. How's the work going here in the Refuge for you?
It's going wonderful. Because of being the treasurer, I come in at odd times, and I actually get to see the families. And these children, they are just marvelous. They adapt so quickly to having structure again in their life. And they are just blossoming. The other day, teachers were calling here because they couldn't figure out what had happened. The kids are getting their homework in, it's being done correctly, it's being done on time. One little boy brought in his report card, straight A's. He'd never even gotten anything like that in his life. So it shows that just having the structure and the guidance and a place to feel secure to come to at night, the kids are just wonderful. It's just wonderful.
And as we speak here this morning, the DIG program that you really helped write the grant for and get going here in Decatur is doing a canning session in the kitchen. So
That's right.
You're fully utilizing the facility.
We are. In fact, they even have a greenhouse in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
So we're using every inch of this place between us.
And maybe the DIG program with Decatur, could you tell us what that is?
Decatur's Growing Gardeners is an organization that has lots that the city's letting us use and a couple of lots of their own where they are gardening. They come in here then and teach not only the people that are gardening, but also our clients upstairs when they're here. They come down and they learn how to use produce and herbs and spices to make healthy food. And then, like in this instance, they're learning how to can so that they can have food all year long. And that's what we want to teach our residents upstairs, healthier habits and so on, so they don't go to McDonald's and make their own food.
A real important life lesson.
Yes, yes. Some of the kids, when they first came here, they didn't know what some of our food was. They had never seen things that were home prepared. A cookie that isn't perfect and not taken out of a box and things like that. So it's been a wonderful situation for them. Their, not only their knowledge, but their health, I know, has improved while they're here.
Thank you. Great to see you again.
Good to see you too. Thank you.
We're here with Brad Watkins, member of the board of the Refuge. Brad, how's the work going for you here?
It's going well here. Excited to be involved with an organization that's seeking to help families, the total family, and to tie together some of the social principles that many of us believe in our faith life with the realities that many of the least and the last experience here in Decatur.
How did you get involved with the program, Brad?
Well, as a United Methodist minister, I was appointed to the area about a year and a half ago, and had opportunity. I used to work with social service agencies in another part of our state, and they thought it'd be a good fit to work in this community. I'm at Grace United Methodist Church here in Decatur, and we partner with a number of the community groups right in the neighborhood. We saw the opportunity to seek to reach out to the families who are in the path, who are struggling with homelessness, as well as other issues with the children struggling in school. So I was invited to be a part of this process of seeking to help people to uplift themselves.
Yes, yes. It's very interesting how so many of our institutions in our society are not working well, but the churches are really the mainstay, what's keeping the fabric together.
Well, we're trying our best. We see it as a biblical mandate, but also a great opportunity to share love with people at points in which they really can feel it, not just when things are going good, but to just reach out to them and to be a hand up as opposed to just a hand out. It's great here at Decatur Family Refuge because I've seen in the short while that they've been open, and I've had a chance to work with them. Kids starting to blossom, families starting to see that they have hope and a possibility in the community with connecting with job placement or educational opportunities. So churches, and I believe especially where we are here in Decatur, really care about all of the people.
Very caring community.
Yes.
Brad, if we had the city manager or the mayor sitting here and the president of the Chamber of Commerce at the table talking with us today for the broadcast to the community, what would you tell those guys that needs to be done?
I would first of all tell them that we need more housing for families that are low income. We need more support for families that are on the edges who have a desire to make it. They're not trying to always be in need, but yet they need support, and some of the support, or a lot of the support, has been cut in our current economic environment. So I'd encourage the city to help partner with groups like us to come up with ways to see those resources to help families move forward.
You know, I think if those guys were here, they would say, well, it sounds nice, but we don't have any money, Reverend.
I would say there are always creative ways of addressing concerns, and you have some money. We need to see how we can work with the resources that you have, and so that we can partner with you and we can possibly help you to stretch some of those in ways that reach the people that we care greatly about and the families who make up this Decatur community as well.
You know, it's interesting. I remember my grandfather kind of taught me about horses and stuff like that. Sometimes if I wouldn't get the chore done, I would say I didn't have time, and he said, well, if it was important, you'd find the time.
I agree with you on that. It's not only important, I believe that we have leaders in our community who do care about all of the members of the community. I do believe that we need to struggle with them some more on how to reach this population, though.
Yes. Thank you. Really nice to meet you, Brad.
Thank you.
Good luck with your work.
Appreciate it.
Glad to have you here. Well, we're here now with my friend and colleague, Susan O'Neill, who really brought to our producer the idea to do this interview in this program. And you're a board member here at the Refuge, Susan?
Yes, I am. Thank you for this opportunity.
You guys do such good work here. How did you get involved with the Refuge, Susan?
Well, I was at the Poverty Summit 4 years ago, and I was actually one of the initial board members. After a hiatus, I was invited to return, and I am have always been a big supporter of this program. As someone who's an attorney who has worked in the juvenile courts, worked with disabled people, I worked with homeless families for years. And even in Peoria when I was there, this is a huge problem. Families have nowhere to go, and this is so wonderful to have this refuge, this haven, this safe place for them to go and be a family.
Sure. You know, I so admire the work you do professionally in your legal career, doing Social Security, disability work, juvenile work. You bring a great resource to this refuge, Susan.
Well, I like to think so. The kids have really responded so well, as the others have said. The kids have really responded to this safe place, to the structure. They are really blossoming.
So we're here this evening talking to the viewers and the Decatur community. What would you like to say to them about how they can help?
Well, they can help in a variety of ways. Because we were not open yet, we were not eligible to apply for certain grants, and then of course grants have cycles. And we would like to see more community involvement in the donations as well, because for one thing, that brings an ownership of the organization, that they feel a part of it. Kathleen mentioned ways that they can come down and volunteer. We're having a rummage sale in February. They could donate items for that. We are always seeking donations for the families. One of the ideas is we're teaching them here not to fail. We're transitioning them into housing. We have a house that was donated to us. We could use some more houses donated. But we have one that we're rehabbing now. We have a family that's done really well that we hope to transition in January. But these people have lost everything. Maybe they put things in a storage unit initially, but they couldn't pay the bill. That stuff's gone. They have nothing. Things that we take for granted: towels, sheets, dishes, pots, pans, silverware, furniture, lamps. And they are going to need everything, so we're trying to stockpile things like that, so household goods that we could use for the people as they transition. We're hoping to kind of give them a little package, set them up, so to speak, and continue aftercare services with them. We have a case manager that works with each family, figuring out what is their need, what do they need to succeed. We don't want to just give these people a place to live and a meal. We want to make them so that they succeed. We don't want to see them back here in 3 months.
Yes, yes. Well, our nation is too strong and too honorable to allow this homeless situation to continue.
Yes, and it's a shame, and it's puzzling.
Thanks for inviting the Faber Files to the Refuge to learn all about the Refuge and meet all your board members, Susan.
Well, thank you.
So now we'll do a little bit of a tour.
Great.
And we enter here, and this is our commons area.
Very good.
And
Okay, thanks so much.
as you can see, everything here has been donated. So we feel very, very
Well, hi,
blessed
Bill.
by that, and go from there. So we have some games, and so Friday night's game night, and we stay busy on Friday night. We have a lot of Disney movies, so one Friday's game, one Friday's children Disney movies, and we go forward from there. We are going to be partnering with U of I, and they're going to bring us the towers that have educational programs on, so we'll be able to do more with the children there. This is an example of what one of the rooms looks. And this is for a single custodial adult and children. And so this is one of the rooms that's here. So we're working on putting things in here that are visually stimulating as well, and we're moving forward. Each room has a restroom, and 2 of the restrooms have tubs, and 2 of the restrooms are just shower units. So this is pretty much how the restrooms are laid out. I got a bigger light here, so that you have some idea how this works. And we're been very fortunate that we have a lot of reading material and literature that's been provided by retired teachers. So we're in the process, we have a family that's agreed to have bookcases along our wall, custom built for us, so we'll be able to get the rest of the books out of the boxes and in bookcases up here and go from there. Then this is our area where our monitors sit, and we have a monitor here every day around the clock, and we go from there. And this is Tanya, who is one of our monitors, and is here, and we try to be as positive as we can in the daily operations. Even though there is structure and even though there is rules, that, you know, it's as any house, you know, at certain times you do certain things and certain rules. And since we have multiple families, we have to be very consistent in what we do and how we go forward. So this is a room here, and in this room, this room is set up for mothers with infants, because we have crib in there and for another child, so that's set up for that. This is a family of 4 that is in here as well. We have another restroom back here. We have another restroom over here. The room for the mother with children has its own restroom because of the baby. Okay, this is a family of 4, and this is a family of 4, soon by December to be 5. So we'll be having another baby in the picture around Christmas. So that'll be kind of exciting, and we'll go from there. But this is what the upstairs is, and we spend between 3:30 and 5 is homework time, so there's no TV, and we're on the table here, or we're over here at the desk, and we're doing TV. No homework, then we've got lots of literature and you're reading. But you're going to do something productive that's going to stimulate and is going to help you be a better success in school, and go from there. And so that's kind of where we are, and this is what we're about. And it's about helping children realize that it's about choices. Sometimes it's not, and that you can choose, and this is letting them know you can have the life that you want. And in doing that, hopefully the cycle, the repetitive historical cycle of family after family after family is going to be broken, because they have realized I can, as opposed to this is all I get. But the minute they realize I can, then we're moving forward. You can't just put them in a building and say, here, live, without services. There is so much teaching that has to go on. There is so much understanding of cause and effect. Behavior, consequence. If this happens, these are the 3 choices that could happen based on this, but all it takes is one other variable, and then you don't have control. And that's why it's so important that decision making is a solid decision making, and it's on solid ground, and it's on information. So we're trying to equip them with the skills that we practice on a daily basis, and give them the tools, give them the strategies to succeed. And that's what we're about, as a whole person and as a whole family.
You have safety, you have structure, and you have skills.
And we have faith.
And faith.
And we have faith.
Thanks,
Yes.
Kathleen. It's been a great tour, and I've learned so much today, and good luck with your project.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's good to see you again, and thank you for this opportunity for Decatur Family Refuge.